Let's return now to the strike action going on today. Workers at the UK's largest telecom provider are walking out today in a dispute over pay. Well, the General Secretary of the Communication Workers Union, Dave Ward, joins me now from the picket line. So, Dave Ward, why are you striking?
Yeah, good morning, Anna. Well, our members, this is the first strike in over 35 years across the BT group. And the reason that we're striking today is because the guy who runs BT, Philip Jansen and the board, are ripping off the workers and ripping off customers at the same time. So what we're seeing at the moment is the company posting profits last year of £1.3 billion. They've just posted profits in the first quarter of this year of £400 million, and they've imposed a pay deal this year on the workforce that is simply insufficient to deal with the situation with the cost of living crisis. And, you know, I'm going to say this today, that there needs to be some sort of inquiry into the actions of these boards that are ripping off the whole of society at the moment. And our members are not going to put up with it anymore.
Well, yes, and the BT boss himself, though, says he thinks what workers have been offered is fair and affordable. He says it compares really well with any other company. And he said he's sad and disappointed that the strikes are going ahead today. He says that workers at BT have been offered the biggest pay rise for 20 years.
Well, that's not true. And the reality is our members never had a pay rise the year before. They had a one-off bonus. And this year, what they've offered is insufficient. I mean, this is against the background as well. When I say that they are ripping off people and our members are feeling disgusted at the actions of the CEO and the board, these guys, he got a 32% increase. And I just don't think that this is acceptable anymore today. I think every single one of your viewers will understand that this level of inequality in the way that workers are being treated versus the companies themselves. They gave £750 million to shareholders before they then imposed an inferior pay deal for workers. This can't continue. People are not going to put up with it.
But meanwhile, around the issue of strikes, there's been a lot of news, hasn't there? The Labour leader Keir Starmer sacked his shadow transport minister Sam Terry, who joined the picket lines, hadn't he, this week? He said it was for doing unauthorised interviews with the likes of us here at Sky News and was making policy up on the hoof. What do you make of Labour's handling of the strikes?
I mean, look, that's a matter for Keir Starmer. But I have to say that from where I'm sitting, it looks to me like Labour want to win an election without any principles. And I think people will see through that over time. I think our own members will feel really, unhappy about the way that Labour are dealing with these things. In these moments, when people are under so much pressure, you have to come forward with policies. You have to be prepared to support working people. And if Labour don't do that, I think trade unions and community organisations will fill that vacuum to stand up for working people. And that's what we're also talking about. We're also talking about other forms alongside this particular dispute. We're talking about, forms of collective action later on in the summer that all workers can participate in. And we're talking to other trade union leaders about that as part of a campaign for a new deal for workers, separate to this current dispute.
Well, expand on that a little bit. I mean, Labour's former Shadow Chancellor, John McDonnell, said that he would support a general strike where different industries coordinate action. Is that something that you would look to do?
Well, the general strike took place in 1926. Our focus is on our members primarily. And that is, where that will remain. But let me say that at the same time, I do think that working people are being let down across the political parties at the moment. I think they have to come together in a different format. I would support a new social movement led by trade unions, community organisations to stand up for working people. And we are talking to other trade union leaders and the TUC about forms of collective action that we could all take. So, that will probably start in the next few weeks.
What would it look like?
Well, I think that's for us to have those discussions. I think there'll be a moment probably where we'll hold a press conference and we'll be happy to talk to you about what that looks like. But I think it's about making the government act to support working people on the cost of living crisis and all of the things that are associated with that, but also to act against these type of business leaders. You know, you can't carry on here letting these type of people live almost in a parallel galaxy, let alone a parallel universe, and treat their workers the way they are, and they are ripping off customers. These guys announced yesterday, on top of 400 million in the first quarter profit, on top of the 1.3 billion, that they are going to put prices up, which will amount to 23% price increase in 12 months. I don't think anybody will accept that. And I would urge the government to do an inquiry into the way that BT are running this company.
OK, and of course the boss would say he's just looking after the company and its future, which is in the interests of the workers. Dave Ward, we appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us this morning.